The Philippines and France have signed several agreements on transportation and communications, culture and education. The signing of the accords followed a meeting between President Aquino and his French counterpart, François Hollande. According to President Aquino, the agreements will facilitate meaningful dialogue and fruitful exchanges between the two countries. More details from Ignacio.
The Philippines and France have strengthened their ties to ensure political and economic security. President Aquino arrived in France for a two-day official visit, the third in his four-nation European tour. The president is welcomed by French President François Hollande at Elysee Palace. 4 agreements were signed by the Philippine and French government. An agreement on the air services that will provide additional and direct flights from Manila to France. The administrative agreement between the Philippines National Commission on Culture and the Arts and Minister of Culture and Communications of the French Republic on the 2014-2017 executive program of the Agreement of Cultural Cooperation, a memorandum of understanding between Development Academy of the Philippines and École Nationale d'Administration, and a contract for the acquisition of equipment between 4G and Alcatel-Lucent Globe Telecom Ayala Group.
The President and I resolved to deepen the Philippines and France's partnership in the political, security, economic, and cultural spheres. We witnessed the signing of various agreements that will facilitate meaningful dialogue and fruitful exchanges between our two countries.
We've built a political cooperation at an exceptional level, given that our two Ministers of Foreign Affairs will meet on a regular basis in order to discuss matters or situations that can be of concern at one point or another, be it in Asia, in Europe, or elsewhere in the world.
The two leaders also recognize the international law on maritime disputes. Both have agreed the importance of a binding declaration on the conduct of parties on the South China Sea to ensure regional stability. Aside from the issue of territorial disputes in the West Philippine Sea, the French government lauded the Aquino administration's effort to maintain peace and development in Mindanao, as well as the measures implemented to sustain economic growth due to good governance.
Today, we've built a political cooperation at an exceptional level, given that our two Ministers of Foreign Affairs will meet on a regular basis in order to discuss matters or situations that can be of concern at one point or another, be it in Asia, in Europe.
President Aquino formally thanked France for helping the Philippines from the devastation brought by Haiyan. He added that the country continues to rise from the onslaught by enhancing skills of Filipino workers through education and training. At present, more than 50,000 Filipinos live and work in France.
I extended the deep appreciation of the Filipino people for all the generous humanitarian assistance that the government and the people of France provided in the aftermath of Haiyan. Mr. President, the solidarity that France has demonstrated will never be forgotten by a grateful Filipino nation. Mr. President, we look to a future of deeper cooperation, one which will realize our people's greatest potentials. I am confident that we will continue to build on the successes of our relations and work even harder in achieving that vision of mutual progress, inclusiveness, and greater understanding that we share for our peoples.
In the end, Hollande informed President Aquino that his mother, former President Corazon Aquino, visited France 25 years ago. Hollande is expected to visit the Philippines next year.
You embody democracy in the Philippines. The long fight of your family in order to reach democracy. And let me remind us that some 25 years ago, Carla Lizardo, your mother, was hosted here by President François Mitterrand, and it was an opportunity to remind us of the fight of the entire family, that of your father, your mother, for the Philippines to know at last freedom and democracy. Today, that is, some 25 years after this visit, and some 30 years, more than 30 years after the revolution, we are together. And our two countries kept getting closer and closer and intensifying their exchanges.
For the People's Television, Ignacio.